So far, Kylian Mbappe's journey with Real Madrid has been far from the dream story we all envisioned. Positioned as a number 9, a role he's not entirely accustomed to, a lingering injury has slowed his adaptation. Add to that the infamous Swedish affair that delivered a significant blow to his public image, and Mbappe has found himself under fire from all directions. A few weeks ago, he played in his first El Clásico, but not in the way Real Madrid fans had hoped. He missed several easy chances, and, to make matters worse, he was flagged offside 8 times, a record that hadn't been reached in Europe's top 5 leagues in the past 8 years. How did it all come to this? Let's dive into the ups and downs of Kylian Mbappe's rocky start at Real Madrid.
Well, if that is of any concern to Paris Saint-Germain, who are looking to get themselves the early goal, and they've got it as well. And who else? Oh.
Before El Clásico, a humbling defeat and questions about Mbappe's fit at Real Madrid. Before his El Clásico debut, Kylian Mbappe hadn't experienced a defeat by 4 goals since April 14, 2019, when PSG lost 5-1 to Lille. For now, Mbappe has yet to convince at Real Madrid. This raises the question, is he truly cut out to play for a club of Real Madrid's caliber? Does he simply need more time to adapt, or are there deeper reasons behind these challenging beginnings? For years, Real Madrid had relentlessly pursued Mbappe, making staggering offers to PSG every transfer window. Florentino Perez saw him as the club's next legendary player, the future face of Los Blancos, and it's easy to see why. At PSG, Mbappe was an unstoppable force. He secured the Ligue 1 top scorer award 6 times in the 7 seasons he spent in Paris. His blistering pace, mesmerizing dribbling technique, and lethal finishing made him one of the most feared players in the world. In France, Mbappe won nearly everything there was to win domestically. 6 Ligue 1 titles, multiple Coupe de France, and Coupe de la Ligue trophies. Individually, his records are astounding. Despite his young age, he left PSG as the club's all-time top scorer, with an incredible 256 goals. A lifelong dream, Mbappe's journey to Real Madrid. Everyone knows that Kylian Mbappe dreamed of playing for Real Madrid since he was a child. His admiration for Cristiano Ronaldo is well documented, with photos of young Mbappe surrounded by posters of Ronaldo plastered across his bedroom walls. Mbappe even got the chance to meet Ronaldo in person, solidifying his idolization of CR7. Ronaldo was one of the key reasons why Mbappe's favorite club growing up was Real Madrid, and he aspired to follow in his footsteps. This lifelong dream was within reach in the summer of 2022, when Real Madrid made a staggering offer of around $200 million to PSG. Mbappe, however, shocked the football world by refusing the deal, even after reportedly giving a verbal agreement to the Spanish club. Real Madrid's management was furious. Florentino Perez and the club hierarchy felt betrayed, leading them to publicly declare that the door to Los Blancos was closed for Mbappe. But football is unpredictable. After Mbappe's jaw-dropping performances during the 2022 FIFA World Cup, where he showcased his brilliance on the grandest stage, Real Madrid reconsidered. Once again, they reopened the possibility of signing Mbappe, only for him to refuse another offer. This second rejection soured relations even further, leaving Real Madrid's players, management, and fans unwilling to entertain his transfer again. By the summer of 2023, Mbappe appeared to be out of chances to fulfill his dream of wearing the iconic white jersey. But everything changed unexpectedly when Mbappe refused to renew his PSG contract. This time, he reached an agreement with Real Madrid, paving the way for his long-awaited transfer. Mbappe's arrival at Real Madrid was supposed to herald a new era. He was seen as the heir to Cristiano Ronaldo's throne, poised to lead Los Blancos into another golden age. Yet his journey at the club has been anything but smooth so far. A rocky start for Mbappe at Real Madrid. Florentino Perez had a grand vision, a new Galacticos 3.0 featuring a dream attack with Kylian Mbappe, Vinicius Jr., and Rodrigo, supported by Jude Bellingham in midfield. Fans and pundits alike expected Real Madrid to dominate all opponents and reclaim their status as the kings of Europe for years to come. However, before Mbappe even stepped onto the field for his first appearance, one pressing question loomed large. Where would he play? Would Mbappe slot in as a striker, a right winger, or a left winger? On paper, the problem was obvious. Mbappe and Vinicius Jr. are very similar in playing style. Both thrive on the left wing, and Rodrigo also prefers playing centrally or on the left. This overlapping preference created an issue that many had foreseen long before Mbappe's arrival. Mbappe himself has previously voiced his dislike for playing as a central striker. During his time with the French national team, he openly admitted that he preferred playing on the left flank. At Real Madrid, this problem has become glaringly evident. A widely circulated image on social media shows all three attackers crowding the left side of the pitch, with no one properly occupying the center or the right wing, an unusual and inefficient setup. A shaky start in El Clásico. This issue became painfully clear during the much-anticipated Clásico against Barcelona. Mbappé, expected to shine, missed several clear chances, contributing to an embarrassing 4-0 loss at home. Even more concerning, he was caught offside a staggering 8 times, setting an unwanted record that hadn't been matched in Europe's top 5 leagues in 8 years. To be fair, Barcelona played a high defensive line, specifically aiming to trap Real Madrid players offside. Still, 8 offside calls in one game were unacceptable for a player of Mbappe's caliber. This performance left many fans questioning whether the French superstar could truly adapt to the demands of Real Madrid. Despite these challenges, Mbappé has shown flashes of brilliance. In the UEFA Super Cup final, he made his official debut for Real Madrid in style, scoring the winning goal and securing his first trophy with the club. In La Liga, he has already netted 6 goals, although 3 of them came from penalties. The burden of expectations. The biggest challenge for Mbappé at Real Madrid lies in the sky-high expectations. He was so dominant at PSG and for the French national team that fans now expect him to replicate that form immediately. They demand consistent goals, assists, and match-winning performances. Anything less is seen as underwhelming. To complicate matters, Real Madrid's uncharacteristic struggles in the Champions League have only amplified the scrutiny. The team currently sits in a surprising 18th place in the UEFA rankings, trailing clubs like Bayern Munich. This decline in form has left many wondering if the team's issues stem from Mbappe's adaptation struggles, tactical misalignments, or deeper structural problems. Why is Mbappé struggling at Real Madrid? The challenges Kylian Mbappé is facing at Real Madrid have become a focal point for fans and analysts. A significant factor affecting his performance, and the team's as a whole, is the absence of Toni Kroos, whose playmaking abilities were instrumental. Kroos was a master of tempo, dictating the rhythm of the game with surgical precision. His ability to deliver perfectly timed, long-range passes was crucial for a player like Mbappé, who thrives on running into space. Without Kroos, Real Madrid has lost a player who touched the ball more than anyone else last season and delivered the most passes into the opposition's defensive third across Europe's top 5 leagues. His knack for converting possession into attacking opportunities was a cornerstone of Madrid's strategy. Currently, none of the existing midfield options, Aurelien Tchouameni, Eduardo Camavinga, Jude Bellingham, or Federico Valverde, can replicate what Kroos brought to the team. Luka Modric, another legendary figure, is nearing retirement, and his performances have naturally declined at 39. This leaves Real Madrid without a true orchestrator who can control the game's tempo, make decisive passes, and maintain defensive security through disciplined ball distribution. This shift has made Madrid's gameplay more attack-focused, with players like Bellingham pushing forward frequently. While this aggressive style has its advantages, it exposes vulnerabilities during transitions and can lead to errors in building from the back. The lack of a midfield maestro leaves the team susceptible to opposition counterattacks and disjointed in maintaining cohesive play. Adding to the complexity is Mbappe's positional dilemma. At PSG, everything revolved around him. He had the freedom to choose his position and dictate the team's play style. At Madrid, the situation is starkly different. Nobody is bigger than the club, and established stars like Vinicius Jr. occupy key roles, particularly on the left wing, which happens to be Mbappe's preferred position. Vinicius has cemented his place as a vital player with outstanding performances, leaving no room for Mbappé to take over his spot. As a result, Mbappé is forced into the central striker role, a position he doesn't favor. Playing as a traditional number 9 limits his ability to exploit space, which has been a hallmark of his success. His game, built on speed, agility, and one-on-one duels, is less effective in a central role, where he must adapt to new responsibilities like holding up play and organizing attacks. This shift not only challenges Mbappe's natural instincts, but also highlights how Real Madrid's current composition fails to maximize his unique strengths. Let's look at the example of Karim Benzema. Benzema's role went far beyond just finishing. He was pivotal in dropping back, holding up the ball, and creating chances for teammates. Mbappé, on the other hand, thrives in receiving passes into open space rather than holding the ball under pressure. Playing with his back to goal is not natural for him, and this lack of adaptability can present challenges at a club like Real Madrid. Even after Benzema's departure to Saudi Arabia, Joselu stepped into the role and did an excellent job as a backup striker. Despite not being a regular starter, Joselu made crucial contributions, including 2 decisive goals against Bayern Munich in last year's Champions League semifinals. This demonstrates the importance of having a classic number 9. Mbappé, however, does not physically fit the mold of a traditional center forward, like Erling Haaland or Robert Lewandowski, who can physically dominate central defenders. At PSG, Mbappé compensated with his exceptional speed and dribbling in open spaces. But in La Liga, especially against teams that sit deep against Real Madrid, those spaces are much harder to come by. Another critical issue lies in Mbappé's movement. His impatience during runs often leads to offside calls. He tends to rush into spaces too early rather than timing his runs or surprising defenders with unpredictable movements. The number 9 needs to excel in these areas, like Benzema, who balanced dropping deep and making runs in behind effectively. Mbappé, in contrast, relies heavily on his pace, which can make him predictable. Adding to this complexity is Real Madrid's star-studded roster, with players like Rodrigo, Vinicius Jr., Luka Modric, and Jude Bellingham. Mbappé is no longer the sole focus of the team, as he was at PSG. This shift in dynamics might explain his initial struggles. Tactically, Mbappé's arrival seems to have disrupted the balance of the team. A prime example is Bellingham's adjustment. Last season, Carlo Ancelotti seamlessly integrated Bellingham into the squad, giving him a free role as a number 10. This allowed Bellingham to showcase his full potential, scoring multiple goals in La Liga and the Champions League, including a double in the Clásico. His freedom to roam and exploit spaces made him a constant threat to defenses. However, with Mbappé's arrival, the team reverted to a more traditional 4-3-3 formation. Bellingham, instead of being a primary attacking force, has been repositioned deeper to maintain balance in midfield. As a result, his scoring opportunities have diminished. Ancelotti has even acknowledged that Bellingham's reduced scoring this season is expected, as he isn't a striker, and his primary role isn't to score goals. Despite this, Ancelotti remains satisfied with Bellingham's contributions. Interestingly, comparing Mbappé to Vinicius Jr. would have seemed absurd a few years ago when Mbappé was clearly ahead in terms of influence and impact. However, today, many believe Vinicius has surpassed Mbappé. Vinicius came close to winning the Ballon d'Or this year and has firmly established himself as the key player at Real Madrid. Before Mbappé's arrival, there was a clear expectation that he would become the team's new talisman and a strong contender for the Ballon d'Or. Yet, it's Vinicius who has taken on the mantle of leadership, carrying the team and outperforming Mbappé. This year in the Ballon d'Or rankings, Mbappé finished 6th, behind Vinicius 2nd, Bellingham 3rd, and even Dani Carvajal 4th. While this might seem shocking, it underscores how much Vinicius has stepped up, possibly motivated by Mbappé's arrival. Both players prefer the same left-wing position, adding an implicit sense of competition between them. Before Vinicius's breakout in the 2021-2022 season, rumors suggested that Real Madrid had considered including him in a potential deal to sign Mbappé from PSG. Reflecting on this now, it's clear that those were risky discussions, considering Vinicius's evolution into a world-class talent. With everything we've analyzed, is it fair to place all the blame on Mbappé? Absolutely not. It's astonishing how quickly criticism has mounted against him, given he's only been at Real Madrid for 4 months. People often forget that even though he's recognized as one of the best players in the world, transitions of this magnitude take time. There is still hope. Kylian Mbappé remains a young player who must adapt to a completely new environment. Up until now, his entire career has been built in France, a league he knew inside out, including its opponents and the demands of the competition. This familiarity allowed him to excel and dominate. However, La Liga is an entirely different challenge. The defenses are more rigorous, the tactics more sophisticated, and the pressure on a Real Madrid player is unparalleled. Mbappé has to adjust not only to a new league but also to a different style of play and teammates with well-established roles. These transitions take time, and it's unrealistic to expect him to be at his peak in just a few months. It's a massive shift, and it's natural for him to require a settling-in period. His recent dip in form hasn't been limited to Real Madrid. Even in his appearances with the French national team this year, he struggled to make the same impact, which surprised many. He missed 2 international matches against Israel and Belgium, amid rumors suggesting he wanted to prioritize high-profile international games to bolster his chances of winning the Ballon d'Or and focus fully on his Real Madrid journey. Mbappé also made headlines when Didier Deschamps left him out of the national team squad, citing fitness issues. However, not everyone was convinced by this explanation. Some observers speculated that his absence from the Israel match could have been influenced by his personal convictions or the delicate political situation surrounding that game. So what can Mbappé and Real Madrid do to turn things around? On the Real Madrid side, the team needs to find a tactical setup that allows Mbappé and Vinicius Jr. to play freely without stepping on each other's toes. On Mbappe's side, he needs to make some critical adjustments. Firstly, he should apologize to the national team and make himself available for all matches, even the less glamorous ones, to show his commitment. Secondly, he must put his ego aside and acknowledge that, for now, Vinicius Jr. is the team's standout player. Mbappé also has to embrace the number 9 role, even if it's not his favorite position. Unless he can convincingly demonstrate to Carlo Ancelotti that he could outperform Vinicius in his natural left-wing role. Alternatively, he could hope that Vinicius accepts the rumored $1 billion offer from Saudi Arabia, which would clear the left flank for him. However, as things stand, Mbappé needs to improve certain aspects of his game to succeed as a number 9. He lacks the ability to hold the ball with his back to goal, the physicality required for the role, and a more refined understanding of runs and movement in this position. Until he incorporates these elements into his game, it will be hard for him to fully thrive in this role at Real Madrid. The question isn't whether Mbappé is a good player. He is undoubtedly one of the best in the world. The real question is whether his style of play can seamlessly integrate into a team that had nearly perfected its balance before his arrival. For now, it seems this imbalance is causing more problems than benefits. These are the issues Real Madrid must address this season if they want their exceptionally talented squad to succeed. If you love football as much as I do, you should check out the video on the screen now. You'll enjoy it, promise.